After a chance meeting that led her to start in jewelry design, Sabina Lee has enjoyed popular success. With nature as her main inspiration, her designs reflect the most intricate details of plants and flowers, as well as expressions of her own personality. Her attention to detail and creative flair have gained her widespread recognition, and her jewelry is now sold worldwide.
I really didn't plan of doing jewelry design. I finished school and then I was in a multinational company doing a marketing manager, and I was bored very shortly after that. So I started to do an own shop, a gift shop, carrying all European gifts. And one day this gentleman walked into my shop and loved my jewelry very much, fashion accessories that is. He said, would you like to set up a department store counter for me? I said, which department store? And he told me that it's Sable. And that was 10 years from now, I think, 10 years from now. And then it was Japanese owned then. So I started doing that, and it was an overnight success. So it was a department store. Actually, it was a little corner inside the couture section. So we carried all the very important fashion jewelries from all over the world for them. So 3 years after that, I worked with a lot of designers. I find out that I have too many design ideas of my own, so I ended up doing my own designs, and I plunged into jewelry then. As designers, you get your ideas from everything actually, forms, materials, textures, everything actually. But for me, the one thing that I can isolate and talk about most, I think, is nature. Actually, I love going out a lot. I spend a lot of time in the nature, so that is the thing that I really get a lot of inspiration from. Leaves and trees are most fascinating because the veins, the way the branches overlaps is so fascinating. It's more fascinating than the flower itself actually, because I love patterns, I think, more than the form itself. So that's why when I started doing my jewelry, leaves was the first thing I started with, and then flowers. The process may differ from project to process, but you start actually with an idea, like maybe for example, with a flower, you start with a flower. You really try to look into a flower and see, very carefully see what's the best thing you want to show about this flower. And then you turn that concept into sketches, first thing for me. I don't know for other people, sketches. And then you make a model out of it. For me, I use clay, I use something to work on. And then I show it to my people, the craftsmen. And then from them, we turn it into metal. We make a mold out of it, and then we turn it into a casting. And then from that point onward, we can reproduce a lot of that. I think I'm more critical to my work than a lot of other people, because if you don't like it, you rework it. You rework it so many times that you're at least satisfied with it before you show it to other people. Usually the first people I show it to is my husband. It's very nice in the way that he won't say very harsh things, but on the other side he would say it in a very professional manner too, because like if he sees something he doesn't like, he would tell me definitely. He's a very honest judge. And then other people, my customers, because we sell to jewelers around the world, the couture jewelers, and everybody has very different customers and very different opinions. And then because they're exposed to different clienteles, they can give me very, very important ideas and very good materials for me to work on from there. For couture customers, they would tell you that, like for a stone, the most important thing is the stone. Don't ever let your design overshine the stone itself. So some things you have to watch for, the balance actually. So if the customers wants actually, if that project is really about the stone itself, make sure that you don't do too many things to overcast the importance of the stones, to undermine the importance of that piece of material. But then if your project is really about other concepts, then you have to bring out the concept more. So it's really, every project is different, and you have to really know what you're doing to understand the personality of your customers and the job itself. But let me tell you honestly, being a designer, I would think that you know how to compromise the most, because it's always a give and take. Because beauty is really very, very subjective. To overdo it, to underdo it, is really a fine line difference. So you really have to know where to stop. I like the way one customer summarizes my work. He said that I can see love in your jewelry, I can see life in your jewelry, and that's the best way to put it. It's because I'm a very passionate person, so with every piece of jewelry I do, if I don't like it, I just scrap it. So every piece of jewelry, every tiny bit of details, I pay very special attention to it. So I think that makes it a bit more unique.